Hi, good morning. Today we are going to discuss one problem. Also, we are going to discuss one theorem. And the first problem is to find minimal polynomial. Okay. Now, the first problem is find the minimal polynomial for the operator t, which is represented by this matrix. Okay. Now we have a result. Minimal polynomial and characteristic polynomial have same root, and the characteristic polynomial for an operator is determinant t minus if a matrix is determinant t minus determinant xi minus a. Okay, now moving to the solution. First we have to find characteristic roots. This is our matrix, and characteristic equation is determinant xi minus a equal to 0, and this implies determinant of x1 minus 1 x. Okay, and this is equal to x square plus 1 equal to 0. So what about characteristic roots? Characteristic roots are plus or minus I. Here this is a matrix over C, as it is if it is over R, then it has no characteristic roots, therefore it has no minimal polynomial, characteristic polynomial, etc. Okay, in this case we have roots are I and minus I are roots. So characteristic but we have a result, characteristic polynomial and minimal polynomial have same roots except for the multiplicities. So for x equal to I and x equal to minus I must also be a roots of minimal polynomial for a. Clear? These are characteristic roots. Therefore, these are also roots of minimal polynomial. So if you consider the polynomial x minus I into x plus I, which is equal to x square plus 1, this is the possibilities for minimal polynomial. But we have to check whether this is a minimal polynomial. If it is a minimal polynomial for t, then t square plus I must be a 0 operator. Okay, or a square plus I must be equal to 0 matrix. Okay, so this is our p of x. Now what about p of a square plus identity matrix. A square, we get this one, a plus identity matrix, which is equal to 0. So a square plus I equal to 0 implies p of x annihilates a. Therefore x square plus 1 is the minimal polynomial for t over c. In this case, characteristic polynomial and both minimal polynomial and characteristic polynomial are same. But in certain other cases, characteristic polynomial need not be, minimal polynomial need not be equal to characteristic polynomial. Now we are proving one relation connecting minimal polynomial and characteristic polynomial, and that theorem is called Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay, the Cayley-Hamilton theorem says that let T be a linear operator on a finite dimensional vector space V. If f is a characteristic polynomial for t, then f of t equal to 0. Okay. In other words, the minimal polynomial divides the characteristic polynomial for t. Because we know that characteristic minimal polynomial is the smallest polynomial with which annihilate t, and therefore if f is any characteristic polynomial for t means f of t equals 0. Therefore any polynomial which annihilate t must be a multiple of minimal polynomial. That means minimal polynomial divides characteristic polynomial for t. Okay, the theorem is very important. State and prove Cayley-Hamilton theorem. This may be the question. Okay, so I think the statement is clear. Okay, we have to prove minimal polynomial divides the characteristic polynomial, or we have to prove this only, that is if f is a characteristic polynomial for t, then f of t must be equal to 0. Here this 0 is a 0 operator. Okay, because t is a linear operator and f is a polynomial, therefore this f of t equal to 0. This 0 is a 0 operator. Okay. Okay, now moving to the proof. Given that t is a linear operator on V and t from V to V is a linear operator, then you choose an ordered basis alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. Okay. Suppose A is a matrix of t related to the basis this alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n. Then what is our by definition? By definition, we have T alpha j is equal to sigma I varies from 1 to n a I j alpha I. This was our definition. Okay, T alpha j equal to sigma I varies from 1 to n a I j alpha I. So for here, for convenience, we are using the notation T alpha I. Okay, so T alpha I is equal to, just replace I and J, or you can use for J you can use K. Okay, so this is equal to sigma J varies from 1 to n A J I. Here if it is alpha J, this summation I varies from 1 to n A I J. Here summation J varies from 1 to n. So A J I alpha. Here alpha I. Here as it is J, this is alpha J. Okay. So T alpha I is equal to sigma j equal to 1 to n A j I alpha j. J varies from okay 1 less than or equal to j less than or equal to n. Sorry, this is actually 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n. 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n. Okay, clear? Once again repeat, T alpha is equal to sigma j equal to 1 to n A j I alpha I. Clear? Okay. Now consider from this is equal to T alpha I minus this summation is equal to 0 for every I equal to 1 to etc. n. Okay. If you take this term to left hand side, you mark this as equation 1. And now we are going to tell something, and this there is no need to write all these things. You can write this step to this step directly. Okay. So we know that delta ij. What is delta ij? Delta ij equal to 1 if I equal to j and 0 if I not equal to j. So what is delta ij into t alpha j? Just to multiply. Delta ij into t alpha j equal to t alpha j if I equal to j and 0 if I not equal to j. Okay. Now if you consider summation j varies from 1 to n delta ij t alpha j, what happens? Delta, this is j varies from 1 to n. So delta I1 t of alpha 1 plus delta I2 t alpha 2 plus etc. plus delta I t alpha I plus etc. plus delta I n t alpha. But delta I j equal to 0 if I not equal to j. Here I 1. Therefore this is equal to 0. Only but this is equal to 1. Okay. Therefore 1 into t alpha I 0 0 and this is equal to t alpha. So t alpha you can write as sigma j varies from 1 to n delta I j t alpha j. Okay. So just to substitute this t alpha I in equation 1. Okay. So t alpha j. This is our t alpha j. Okay. This is our t alpha j. And replace this t alpha j by sigma j varies from 1 to n delta I j t alpha j. And this we will get this one, and you can take summation outside and we will get this one, and this I alpha j you can replace with I alpha j. Okay, and you can take alpha j outside and we will get this one. Okay, and put delta ij t minus a j I is equal to b I j. Just a notation, put delta I j t minus a j I is equal to b I j. Okay. So, and now consider the matrix B. Therefore, matrix B as Bij. Okay. Now, what about this? This whole term is Bij. Therefore, this summation becomes sigma j varies from 1 to n Bij alpha j equal to 0. Clear? Now, if you look at Bij, what is Bij? Bij is delta IJT delta IJT minus AJI. Okay, and Now, if you consider matrix, what is B11? B11 is delta 11T minus A11I. And this is equal delta 11 is 1T minus A11. Okay. What is B12? B12 delta I2 becomes 0 minus what about AJI this become A21. What about I is identity matrix. Okay, it's actually A2I into okay, similar. Just to remember this. Okay, now moving to next step. uh, what is given? Given that f of x is a characteristic polynomial for t, and then f of x equal to determinant xi minus a, that is related to, okay. So determinant xi minus a is same as xi minus this one, okay. Now f of t equal to determinant ti minus a, that's equal to this one. If you look at here, determinant x minus a11 minus a12 etc minus a1n minus a21 x minus a22 etc minus a2n etc. So if you consider t, this become like this, okay. Is to replace x by t. Now what is this? You can write as delta 11t minus a11I, okay. Also this is delta 21t minus a12I, etc. Delta n1t minus a1ni, delta 12t minus a21i, delta 22t minus a22i, etc. Okay. So this determinant is same as, what about this matrix? This is actually, what is this one? This is B11. If you look at here, what is our B11? Delta 11T minus A11I. Okay. And what about the second one? Delta 21. Therefore, this is actually B21. Okay. So, for this is actually determinant B transpose. And which is same as determinant of B transpose is same as determinant of B. Thus, we get f of t is same as determinant B. Therefore, to prove f of t equal to 0, it is enough to prove determinant B equal to 0. Clear? This term is equal to B transpose, and we know that determinant of B transpose is same as determinant of B. Determinant of B transpose is same as determinant of B. Therefore, to prove f of t equal to 0, we have to prove determinant B equal to 0. Okay. Now here, what about determinant B? Determinant B is actually f of t, and therefore this is a linear operator on V. Therefore, to prove determinant B equal to 0, it is enough to show that determinant B into alpha k equal to 0 for k equal to 1 to etc. n. Okay, we have to prove determinant B into alpha k equal to 0 for every k equal to 1 to etc. n. For this, consider B tilde equal to adjoint of B. Okay, B tilde equal to adjoint of B. And we have sigma j from 1 to n, Bij alpha j equal to 0. Okay, now look at here. We have Abij equal to sigma k varies from 1 to n, Aik Bkj. Suppose B tilde equal to Bij tilde. Therefore, B tilde Bij equal to sigma k varies from 1 to n, Bik tilde Bkj. And if we can replace this suffix as kj. Therefore, this notation because sigma I varies from 1 to n. bki, just replace I and k. Tilde bij. Okay. Therefore, this become adjoint of B into determinant B. What is adjoint of B into determinant B? What is adjoint of B into determinant B? We know that adjoint of A into adjoint of A equal to determinant of A into identity matrix. We have this result. Okay. So what is actually A into adjoint of A into adjoint of A is same as determinant A 0 etc 0 0 determinant A etc 0 etc 0 0 etc determinant A. We have this result. So this is same as determinant A delta 1 1, determinant A delta 1 2, etc. Determinant A delta 1, determinant A delta 1 2, determinant A delta 2 2, determinant A delta here 2 2 etc. Determinant A delta 1 n1, determinant A delta 2n, sorry n2, etc. Determinant A delta nn, isn't it? Determinant A to delta 1 1 is determinant A, determinant A to delta 1 2 is 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay. So A into adjoint of A, the ijth entry of A into adjoint of A kj, kjth entry is same as determinant A into delta kj. Okay, just remember this. Therefore, here b into b tilde into b is actually adjoint of b into b, which is same as uh, B into identity matrix. Therefore, determinant of B tilde into B kjth entry is same as determinant B into delta kj. Determinant here determinant A into delta kj. Okay. So determinant B into delta kj. Clear? So this you can write as sigma j varies from 1 to n determinant B into delta kj into alpha j. J varies from our j varies from 1 to n. Therefore, when it reached k, this equation become this delta become 1. Therefore, for all other cases that is equal to delta kj equal to 0. So once this j reached k, that means delta kk, determinant B into delta kk alpha k equal to 0. That means determinant B into delta kk is 1, alpha k equals 0. Thus we get determinant B into alpha k equal to 0 for every k equal to 1 to etc. And this implies determinant B equal to 0. That means f of t equal to 0. Thus we get if f is any characteristic polynomial for t, then f of t equal to 0. Okay. Hope it is clear. You have to replace this by this notation. Okay. Just remember this. Okay. This is one of the most important results. State and prove Cayley-Hamilton theorem. That is f. Thus we get f of t equal to 0. But minimal polynomial for the smallest polynomial with smallest polynomial which annihilate t. Therefore, f of t must be a multiple of t. Some p of t into some q of t. That means p of t divides f of t. Okay, that's all for today's class.